was October of 2015, and we were tailgating and happened to be parking next to a group of guys who were from Rochester.
I remember it like it was yesterday. Guy next to us jumped through his table and we thought he was crazy. He wanted more.
He immediately kind of came over to us and said, "Hey, can I jump through your table?" And I said something to the effect of, "Well, not if you're gonna just jump off the ground, maybe if you jump off your truck." And I never thought in a million years he'd actually do it.
Oh my God! Nobody got hurt.
Later that day, video of the smash was posted to social media.
Your best available video, Buffalo. You guys just eat beers and hurt yourself. Look at this idiot.
The very next week, another Bills fan went through a table. And then the next week, and then the next week. And I called one of my friends who was with me and I said, "This is really taken off." And I said, was ours the first one?
Oh my God!
As it turns out, the answer to that question is complicated.
My name is Jordan Grills, and I started the Bills Mafia table smash on September 20th, 2015. We had actually seen somebody do like a slam dunk while playing beer pong on a folding table, and someone came up to me and they said, "Hey," said, "we got a table over at our tailgate. Do you want to jump through it?" I abided.
Yeah, you're up. The Bills make me
According to Jordan, his failed attempt went viral on a since-deleted Instagram post. Then, Bills Mafia atoned for his blunder.
Buffalo is a very proud city. They weren't going to just sit back and have Bills Mafia be labeled failures at doing something that plenty of them had in them, which is the ability to go through a folding table with a very high success rate. I do not claim to be the first person to go through a table at a Bills game, but I did shoot the musket ball that started the revolution. That I will promise you.
Name is Dan Grenda, and I am the originator of the table smashing at Bill's Tailgates. November 2012, against Miami. Me and my buddy just at one random tailgate, just walking by the table. There wasn't much on it. I said, "Body slam me through this." And he did. It was funny. People laughed. The next week, like, "Let's do it again." We did it. Again, I thought it was a great idea. Okay, let me dress as a wrestler next week. So I dressed as a wrestler, did it. It became a weekly thing. If someone wants to come up with a picture, videos, or something showing that they did it before, I'm happy to say that I was wrong, but you know, deep down I know it's the one that started.
The thing about origin stories is that they often come down to whom or what you want to believe. And in this case, there are endless myths and theories on the table.
When the first baby was born in Buffalo, accidentally slipped in hot sauce and got dropped into a table.
Some people say these guys started it, or it began after a local wrestling event in the 90s. Maybe it started with something called a dizzy bat, or an early 2000s group known as Bill's Army. The truth is, we may never find a definitive answer. But maybe all these stories are really links in a chain, steps up a tailgate, collectively creating something that is uniquely Buffalo.
We just got married, and I just jumped through a table.
I blessed you into the Mafia.
I'm sure there's people who hate it, but I hope it goes on forever.
For an extended version, search for the Table Smash. Go for the YouTube and search Table Blazers. Rex, you were the coach in Buffalo. Did you ever smash a table?
No, but I smashed a couple of toilet seats every now and then.
Rex, I really don't know how to
The
react.
seat or the
I was
plumbing?
350, dude.
The seat or the plumbing?
I really don't know how to react.
It was 350.
All right,
Now
Adam
I'm so
Schefter,
ahead.
drive us off this picture. Who else is inactive in today's early window?
All right, Greeny, some key actives and inactives in the early window of games today. And we'll start out with the Atlanta Falcons wide receiver Drake London, who is active today. We mentioned Keon Coleman being inactive. Quentin Johnson active despite that shin injury. Brian Thomas Jr. inactive for Jacksonville, so no Thomas, no Travis Hunter. Matthew Golden active for the Packers, as is Calvin Ridley active, and Jaquan Brisker. And of course, tonight, the Detroit Lions will be without their standout tight end, Sam LaPorta, who was placed on injured reserve on Saturday. He's out a minimum of 4 games due to a back injury. That'll be an adjustment for the Lions offense. Obviously, losing a player of LaPorta's capabilities and talents. Dan Campbell, the Lions offensive play caller, will have to overcome quite a bit when they play Philadelphia tonight.
I thought you were going to say he might have to play tight end.
That too.
It seems like he'd be a good choice to do it if anyone was going to. All right, Jordan Love gets the start for the Packers today against that half. Don't miss it. The best of Jameis Winston on the way.
Look at the man beside him. Look at him.
On the 12th day of winter, the Jeep ran gave to me 12 switchbacks winding.
Everyone's got their lucky.
It's looking physical. Marcus Mariota left the game. We'll see if he returns. They've played 3 quarters, and again, we'll have complete coverage as soon as they wrap it up. The Commanders holding on to a 7-point lead. Meanwhile, J.J. McCarthy getting set to go today. 5th start of his career. Huge division game between the Vikings and the Bears. Courtney Cronin is in Minneapolis for us, and she was able to grab a quick moment with Justin Jefferson as we count it down to kick off.
Justin, this week you posted on your Instagram a video clip of that infamous 4th and 18 catch against the Buffalo Bills, and you captioned it, "I need to get back to year 3 Jets." How do you do that?
Just really just going back into that kid mindset, just going out there and just having fun. Happy to be with the guys, happy to be with this team, and happy to just being able to play football for my, everyday living. So a lot to be grateful for and a lot to be blessed about. So just going out there, just playing freely and just, playing with that excitement again.
The emphasis in practice this week to clean up some of the pre-snap issues, 8 false starts last week. What has the emphasis been on the cadence with all 11 on offense?
Yeah, really the cadence really shouldn't be an issue. That's not really something that, should have been an issue and really hasn't been an issue. So we just got to continue to, just lock in and execute our plays. And going back to what I said with that free mind and just going and just playing freely. That's all that really matters.
And lastly, J.J. McCarthy, now 4 games into his NFL career. I know that you two are still working on your chemistry out there on the field. What do you need to do to help make sure that you guys are on the same page today?
Catch those 50-50 balls, those balls that are, not really, you don't think I'm going to catch those type of catches, but, just having that advantage is understanding that I have the confidence to go up against anybody to make those contested catches and just play freely, have fun, and let's go win this game.
Great stuff. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
A good discussion there. Teddy, what'd you hear there as we see J.J. McCarthy getting set to go?
We talking about cadence? Cadence in week 11? Basics, quarterback center exchange next week? What are we doing, Alex?
There were, fundamentals. They had so many false starts last week at home, which was alarming. Obviously, they'll be at home again today. We'll see if they get it ironed out.
Yeah, you know what that is? It's like when you have a horrible tackling performance. Your team just wasn't ready to play. Yeah. Simple as that. I mean, how the hell do you have that many false starts? Crazy.
Be there for your young quarterback. You heard Jets talking about the 50-50 balls, the ones that we don't think he's going to catch. Boy, big day. Bears Vikings. Can't watch
get them, Jets.
Vikings a 2.5-point home favorite against a Bears team that has won 6 out of 7. Meanwhile, as we continue, get ready for this. So we got Sam Darnold and company getting set to take on the Rams. But before they faced Darnold, they went one-on-one with Oz, the mentalist.
What's it say? You lying. You lying.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
How'd you guys get out of work? Some guy said he'd do it for a case of butter.
Obviously with the play calling, and they were a juggernaut, right? 500 yards and obviously 40-plus points. But for me, the X factor is on the other side of the ball. It is this Eagles defensive front, and it is specifically Nolan Smith Jr. and new addition Jalen Phillips. Listen, they got both these guys back last week, and all of a sudden, two defensive ends who can set the edge. This defense looked a lot like last year's Super Bowl defense, and that is scary for the rest of the NFC. These guys are phenomenal players. They can stop the run. And are they going to be up for the challenge today? Again, with the tough matchup against this Lions offense. Can't wait to see it today. And going to the West Coast, again, Rams, Seahawks. I'm going to stay on the defensive side. My X factor is this Rams defensive front. And again, listen, they're going against Sam Darnold, who leads the NFL in QBR. And if you got to remember, they played this guy in the playoffs last year in the wild card round and sacked him 9 times when he was playing for the Vikings. He's wearing a different uniform this time, but you got to think this unit can still affect him if they get after him. And again, they got the tools to do it. Kobe Turner, obviously Byron, affect him if they get after him. And again, they got the tools to do it. Kobe Turner, obviously Byron Young as well. And then this matchup, again, Denver, Kansas City. And this is all about protecting Patrick Mahomes. And for me, the X factor is this Chiefs offensive line. Obviously going against the best pass rush in the NFL with the Denver Broncos at their place. Can they give him enough time to operate? This will be a combination of play design, obviously matching up on the edge against this good pass rush unit, and then Patrick Mahomes being able to get the ball out on time if they have a chance to win.
Before I let you go, can I ask you about the quarterback on the other side, this sort of curious case of Bo Nix, who looks so jumpy. He's just taking off right away. It's really interesting because this isn't the way he played. He was very methodical during college. He didn't play this way last year. I mean, what are you seeing, and can it be rectified?
Yeah, for me, my concerns with the Bronco offense really aren't about Bo Nix. Listen, this team's won 7 straight games. Bo Nix has thrown a touchdown pass in 18 straight games. That is the second longest streak in the NFL. He has 21 total touchdowns this year. That's 3rd best in the NFL, tied with his counterpart in this game, Patrick Mahomes. So for me, the real concerns are about consistency with this Broncos offense. There's at times they score 40-plus points in a game and look amazing, and then you have games like last week where they only score 10 and barely win. And so for me, it's about finding their identity. And so much of this, again, I don't think it's about Bo Nix, but about their offense as a whole and really trying to find out what they want to be week to week.
Yeah, it certainly could help him with a good running game, but we know J.K. Dobbins is out, so we'll see how the rookie does today. Lots to chat about. It's a great day, so we look forward to seeing you and the fellas on Countdown. Thanks, Alex.
All right, Hannah, it is Sunday, it's fun day, and we like to make some money. That's why we have our sports betting analyst, Aaron Dolan, Joe Fortenbaugh with us. Okay, Joe's, you're next to me, so I'll start with you. Favorite game pick for today, either a spread or a total?
Everybody patiently waiting at home. Is it the Eagles game?
Is it the Seahawks game? Is it the Chiefs game? It's none of those. It's the Carolina Panthers.
Stop.
Womp, 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 womp. As the air gets deflated out of the room. But wait, there's a great angle here. Terrible spot for Atlanta. They just went to overtime in Berlin. Now they have to travel all the way back with the league's worst run defense and an offense that ranks 27th in scoring. Here comes Carolina. Goodbye low spot off that loss to New Orleans last week. And if you learn anything about the Panthers, you never bet them as a favorite. You bet them as a dog. They are 4-2 over their last 6, better than people realize.
In the words of Joe Fortenbaugh, you can bet it and not watch it. I feel like that's one of those games on the slate. Not to steal from him, but I'm looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers. I would lay the 5.5 points against the Cincinnati Bengals. While the Bengals actually beat this team outright as a 5.5-point dog earlier in the season, I don't see that happening again. I see a bounce back spot right here for the Pittsburgh Steelers, who only put up 10 points last week on the Chargers, their lowest offensive output. I think they come out strong against one of the worst defenses in the league. We know the Bengals are allowing a league-high 33 points to opponents. So I do like the Pittsburgh Steelers today. I'd lay the 5.5 points.
A lot of good player prop overs here as well. You should get the running game going with Warren on the Pittsburgh side. Look for him to have a big game.
Good point about that. Aaron, let's talk some favorite player props that you got going for today.
I'm looking at Baker Mayfield to go over 12.5 rushing yards. And look, if you look at the box scores, I know he hasn't had a rushing yard in 3 straight weeks. 0 carries in 3 weeks straight. But prior to that, he hit over this mark in 6 straight games, and I think he's going to run on this Bills defense. This Bills defense is allowing the 3rd most rushing yards to opposing quarterbacks so far this season, and this is just one of those spots where the weather could also play an impact. So I do think Baker Mayfield, knowing that this player prop is really drastically dropped. I mean, at some points throughout the season, this was as high as 19.5. This is the lowest I've ever seen it at 12.5. Eventually, I do think he will start running again, and weather could play an impact here. So I'll take him over 12.5 for his rushing yards.
Anytime you can bet on a guy to run for a bunch of yards when the guy doesn't like running for yards, you got to do it. Jokes aside, she's right. It's a good buy low spot, especially in the opportunity against Buffalo. I'm going to go with the quarterback rushing prop as well. J.J. McCarthy, Minnesota Vikings, over 22.5 yards. Over in 3 of 4 starts this year, averaging 27 rushing yards per game. That's just the fundamentals. The key to the handicap is the opponent. Nobody's giving up more rushing yards to opposing quarterbacks this year than the Chicago Bears, and they are down linebacker T.J. Edwards today. What does that mean? When he's off the field, the Bears give up
says they are on an absolute heater right now, and it starts with their quarterback.
Per rush, almost 2 yards more with him off the field. McCarthy should have a big day on the ground.
All right, by the way, thanks, guys. You can see Aaron, top of the hour, Sunday NFL Countdown. And Joe, I guess you can see him on just about every show we have here on the network.
Wandering around, crashing shows, making everyone uncomfortable.
Including some fantasy football now. You're right about that. Now, closer look at the weather, how it could impact some of today's games. Here's ABC News meteorologist Samar Theodore.
Good morning. It's time for that all-important NFL forecast. Let's get to it. All right, so we're headed to the Northeast. The story here is it's cloudy.
32 sacks this season, but Leonard Williams says what they're seeing from Stafford is freakish. Williams saying they watch when he says throwing a no-look pass. He's throwing over the shoulder. He's got pressure coming in, and he is still completing that football. Williams says the key to facing this Rams today, take care of 1st and 2nd down and make them go into 3rd and long situations. And Greeny, back to the top where Puka Nacua says they're on an absolute heater. He says they have to keep their flow and their routine, and that begins with breakfast. Here's what Puka Nacua is eating today. It's a plain bagel with 2 over medium eggs, but you got to take the top of the bagel off. You keep that extra carbs for later. You eat the bagel. You have 2 extra over medium eggs on the side, just in case you're still hungry. That's the key for Puka Nacua to start the day off right and keep them on this heater, as he says.
All right, Lindsay, that's excellent.
That's awesome,
we
Lindsay.
need to work on that breakfast order, though.
Yeah.
I mean, over medium. There's nothing worse than when that egg starts running on the bagel, right? I mean, any of us from New York.
That's good.
You like the running?
No, I like the running. On the bagel.
Did she say burnt to a crisp?
Does he save the other half of the bagel for halftime?
To eat later for carbs, yeah.
Carbs?
Yeah.
Huh.
I love the yolk.
Let's try it.
You know what?
It seems to be working.
That loves carbs. Let me tell you something. You need a lot more carbs than just one bagel, my friend.
Okay. So now that we've heard from Rex and his expertise, let me come over to you from yours. Teddy, let's talk about the quarterbacks in this game. Matthew Stafford, Super Bowl champ, probably headed to the Hall of Fame. We all know everything there.
No questions.
How about the
Stafford,
other side?
All right, we got Sam Darnold. Okay, and Listen, there are quarterbacks out there where you get to find over the course of regular seasons, and you get moments where everyone's looking at, and then how you perform is really just that tells me the picture. Sam Darnold, the way he finished last year in the last week of the season, and then also the playoff loss. I mean, these Rams owned him. Okay, this is going to go a long way for me in terms of who Sam Darnold is. Okay, can we see a player that's ready to take the next step and say, you know what, these guys own me, that's enough. I'm coming up now. I want to see that from Sam, because right now you're playing great football, but a lot of these games are over at halftime. They are blowing guys out, and you can go ahead and do all you want in the third and fourth quarter. It doesn't matter. This is going to be a fourth quarter game here, and Sam Darnold still has a fatal flaw. He turns the football over. He's one of the worst in the league in terms of taking care of the football, and this is what he has to show. If he can be that quarterback in a fourth quarter of a game when it matters and the season's on the line, he's going to be it. He's going to show me something today if he can get this win.
Yeah, and honestly, when you look at the Seahawks, and they're having a phenomenal season, I don't want to downplay it, but their best win is maybe at Pittsburgh, right? Like there isn't a great win, and this is a big step up in competition with them going down to LA and playing this Rams football team. And I know we put those numbers up on the board of all those offensive numbers and all those ones. The truth is, I can't wait to watch these defenses play.
Me too.
These two defenses are unbelievable, and both starts with their front. You highlighted the Rams front. Again, they sacked him 9 times in that wild card game the last time they played. Again, can they do it today? Can they disrupt him? He's been on a roll. And on the other side of the ball, the Seahawks defensive front is on par, right? They're just as good. And so as good as these offenses are, these two teams are very complete, and their defensive units bring it as well.
Yeah, you know what? You mentioned that Seattle front. How about that Leonard Williams? Oh, my goodness. He might be the best guy on the field. But it's so funny because you get tied up in those numbers. Both teams are so explosive. These defenses, amazing. Both top 5 defenses. That's why this game's going to be incredible. So, man, how can we run the ball anyway? How can we do different things? Well, Sean McVay, what makes him special is how creative he is, not just in the pass game, but in the run game. How about having one of your best players on the field, Puka Nacua? Watch this. He's not just going to block a safety here, Moss. Watch him pick up the linebacker. Boom. Okay. Sits back right in there. Puka. Nice thing. Closes his hip up the field. Look at this thing. Just going. All right, now, bring him back in. Kyle Hamilton. Oh, that's a Pro Bowl safety, linebacker type guy. Okay, get right here. Hey, go. Why did you just get out? How about I throw you out the bar here? Right there. What a play. And then, Randy, you take over on this one.
Well, you're talking about the creativity of Sean McVay right here. Play fake, show the ball. Man, look at the safety. Look how the safety bites up, and that's not even his man. So you talking about the creativity by a guy like Sean McVay, man. He's making this offense, look easy to perform in. Now he look like a guy.
I got to show it. Moss, check him out. Watch the fake here. Look at his elbows underneath. Right there, thumbs up. He's got a block, right?
That's the run
wide base. Now he gets out there, your man coverage. You got no chance. He's so creative. Everything ties together with Sean McVay. And that's what you notice. What separates him from almost everybody in the league outside of Dan Campbell was this right here, right? I mean, I'm just telling you, everything looks the same. And he's got a Pro Bowl receiver in there doing the dirty work. Moss.
No, don't even ask me. No, I'm not going in there.
It's not so on that tape. He shows Kyle Hamilton. I mean, in the Seattle defense, Nick Emanwari, that rookie. I mean, this is a guy that does Kyle Hamilton things. Baltimore is struggling on defense. Where's the Raven defense? It's in Seattle. They're doing special things like that with the D lineman you talk about, the safety out of South Carolina. I mean, last week the guy's got 9 tackles, half a sack, and 4 passes defensed. I mean, this guy's all over the field. Emanwari, great player.
And listen, it's not just in L.A., Rex, right? Like, it's a mirror image up in Seattle. It's the same offense. This Clint Kubiak offense, the same system. They mirror the run and pass the same way. You're going to see more play-action pass in this game than any game in the NFL, maybe this year. They both do it so well, such a high percentage of run, and then all the play-action pass that comes off it. Maybe more bootlegs than any game we've ever seen all year. Both these QBs great on the run.
With this being a big game, a lot of the viewers don't get to see the Seattles, don't get to see the L.A. Rams. Why? Because they're West Coast and, the 3 hours difference. But if there's something I want the viewers to really watch in this game, I want you to look at the offensive pad level for both offensive line. And the reason why I say that is because both offenses the way they run the play action fake. First in the National Football League in the Rams and third in the National Football League in Seattle. And I'm talking about play action passing yards, Rex. And the reason why I want you to pay attention to is one thing I'm going to be looking at. How high is the pad level for the offensive line? Because once the quarterback shows that ball, if the pad level is high, Rex, what are we thinking?
Pass.
All right, then. So something has to give today. First and third in the National Football League, Brew, passing yards off the play action. I can't wait to see Sam Darnold on JSN.
Both these teams are built the exact same way? Both of them are built the same way. All right, both of them have two-headed monsters in the backfield right now, right?
Yes.
They all do the hard play action, all that down the field, great receivers, strong offensive line, and a nasty defense. So, to me, this is great because the West Coast, we think more finesse. Not with these teams. Both of them are extremely physical.
I got to add this in there. You talked about they're built pretty similar. The only difference is that two-headed receiver with Devontae Adams and Puka, man, JSN is the only man working in Seattle. So between him and Sam Darnold, I cannot wait to see this connection.
One more thing they have in common. There are only two teams in the entire NFL that are top 5 in both scoring offense and scoring defense. They are the Rams and the Seahawks. And they go head-to-head today in Los Angeles. And you were talking a lot this morning about the Rams coach. Sometimes it feels like Sean McVay can read the mind of the defense. Well, there is one guy who's even better at that. It's the mentalist, Oz Perlman. He's been blowing minds with us for a few years now. He was at it again with the Rams earlier this season. Don't miss this.
Oz Perlman, the mentalist. We are excited to be able to have him. And he's also late as for this meeting, so we're going to find the out of him, too. Everybody welcome Oz, man. Here we go. The Los Angeles Rams. How we feeling, guys? I want you all to dig deep right now. If you could ask me a question that you go, not only is there no way I could know this, but it's not on my social media. I don't even think my brother or sister or mom or dad might know this. Think of a question like that. Raise your hand if you got a question. Tell us all your first name.
Jared.
Jared. Jared, stand up for me. Let's hear it for Jared, everybody. Can we be crystal clear on this? There is absolutely no way in the world I could know what this question is.
Nah.
Hit me with the question.
The first anime I've ever watched.
Count the letters to yourself, and then just pick one of the letters out. Just grab it out like a Scrabble tile. You got one of the letters?
Yeah.
T. Are you thinking of a T?
Yeah.
Cover your eyes for me. Would anybody in this room know this?
Nah.
I got the second word. Keep your eyes closed for me, Jared. This isn't even me asking a question. He comes up with a question on the spot that he says there's no way I could know. Jared, open your eyes. Tell us all. What was the first anime you ever watched?
Death Note.
Death Note. That's the question I get every time. How did you do that? I read you like a book. Might as well have been written on your forehead. Jared, don't move. Everyone look at this. Look at me. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Oh, did it?
What's it say? You lying. You lying.
Take a photo for him. Take a photo right now.
No, you lying.
Take a photo. Take a photo.
Bro,
Show him the photo. You pick someone who's going to read your mind. Not me. Pick anybody. Let me see who wants it right now. Let me see that energy. Who wants in? Coach, you go pick someone. You go pick anybody you want. Cam Curl. Where are you, Cam? Pleasure to meet you. Cam, have we ever spoken a word in our life? I like to ask everybody that question. Coach, if I could, let's get you over here just so we're looking eye to eye, but we can't see over your shoulder. Grab this, grab a marker, grab a pad. Don't write anything down yet, okay? Don't look into Coach's eyes. Look into his soul. Tell him his ATM PIN code. I'm kidding. That would have been sick, though, right? How could this possibly happen? Close your eyes. Plug your ears. You guys make sure this man is not peeking, not looking. Coach, open up the marker. Write it down. Okay. wake up, wake up. Cam, see into his eyes. And one digit at a time, tell Coach, what is his ATM PIN code?
8, 3, 1.
Now that
It can't be real. It can't.
Wow.
It's real. I mean, there's no way. He's done it in our studio and Get Up about the beginning of this season.
Wow. Oh, my gosh.
When you see it in person, like on television, it's unreal. But when you're actually living it in person, when he does it to you, people always say, oh, there has to be a shtick. There's no shtick. No one is putting anything on. There's something wrong with that guy. I can't put my finger on what it is, but he just knows this stuff.
I feel like these guys signed NDAs and are actors. I mean, it just can't be. It can't be possible.
He like transformed his power into Cam.
Don't worry about it.
Hey, everybody out.
This message is for O's. O's, we have a non-believer on the set. Can you please come and pay us to make him a believer, please?
Let's test this out. Alex, just tell us your PIN code. No, just kidding. Okay. All right, on we go.
Give me your ATM card.
Chiefs, just give us $100, and then we'll figure it out from there. All right, Chiefs and Broncos in Denver. Huge game in the AFC West, a division the Chiefs have won in 9 straight years. If KC wins, they'll be up to a 37% chance to win the division, according to our analytics, compared to 33% for the Broncos. A Denver win would put it on ice. They'd be at 9-2. They'd have a 66% chance to win the division. The Chiefs would be at 7%. So to say the least, both teams know the stakes are high in Denver today.
They're first in the division, and they have a couple games on us.
They're going to provide a different challenge than what we've seen.
The thing about our division here, it's strong.
We're never satisfied.
You know, I feel like every week you're going to play somebody that's making a name for themselves.
We're all trying to shoot for the same thing.
I mean, I think you understand this game's important.
You look up and you're playing a great player, ones that are going to be Hall of Famers someday.
You can't make it bigger than what it is.
Always our first goal is win the division. If you lose this game, it'd be tough to go back and get that one.
We'll play in bigger games, but this is the next one.
All right, significant injury news in this game, and Dan Graziano has that one for us. Chiefs and Broncos in Denver. Graz, J.K. Dobbins out for the foreseeable future with a foot injury. How do the Broncos adjust their offense today?
Well, Greeny, you'll see more of the rookie R.J. Harvey, but you'll also see, I think, some Jaleel McLaughlin on early downs. Tyler Bidet is the running back they use in passing downs, third down situations. But I think what to really expect is the Broncos to lean on the screen game. That could be Harvey, that could be Marvin Mims, it could be Evan Ingram. But I think they're going to use that as an extension of the run game. And one of the clues is they signed a wide receiver, Lil Jordan Humphrey, off the Giants practice squad this week. He's been here before, and they know he's a great blocker in the screen game. When the Chiefs have the ball, they're going to be facing a Broncos defense that has 46 sacks already through 10 games, on pace to break the all-time record. Chiefs did not protect Patrick Mahomes well in their last game 2 weeks ago, a loss to Buffalo. They have rookie left tackle Josh Simmons back for this game. Unclear still whether he gets the start or whether they'll go with Jalen Moore. But either way, they have to keep Patrick Mahomes protected in order to live what offensive coordinator Matt Nagy has been preaching, and he's been putting it on T-shirts and signs around the facility. 3 letters, AAF. Greeny, it stands for aggressive, as, and then some other word that begins with F that I haven't been able to quite nail down yet. I'm still working on that. But they want to be able to take shots down the field, and they want to be aggressive as much as possible on offense. But, you know, obviously they're going to have to keep the quarterback protected if they're going to do that.
All right, Dan, outstanding as always. Don't give Rex any ideas, Rex. We're still guessing on that last little.
No idea what
all the conversation in our meeting last night was about they need to run the ball against the Kansas City defense. Can they do it without J.K. Dobbins?
That's big question marks, right? And again, if you're the Kansas City Chiefs defense, you got to be licking your chops that you can make this team one-dimensional. Again, R.J. Harvey's a rookie. Their other backs, kind of scat back types, they're not going to be able to pound the rock which is what they like to do in Denver. So if you're the Kansas City defense, who didn't stop the run very well 2 weeks ago against the Bills, big challenge. Can we go in here, make this team one-dimensional, and then get after Bo Nix in this passing game that has been really inconsistent all year?
Well, one thing go ahead.
What Graz is talking about, too, when he mentioned the screen game, one of the best screen game players in the league I've seen at the linebacker level. Nick Bolton will sniff that out quick. So they're going to have to find a lot of answers, not only just trying to run the football, but the screen game. I mean, they have great players in Kansas City in terms of instinctive. On the edges also, those safeties and defensive backs, they'll sniff out a screen and shut that down quick.
Yeah, the one huge card that Sean has better have runs on it. I'm going to tell you why. This team is absolutely atrocious in drop-back passing, all right? And that's right. Not when he's on the move. When Bo Nix is on the move, that's great. But he's dead last in the league in throwing incompletions on drop-back game. So way too many empties. You're going to get way behind the sticks against this Kansas City defense, and it's lights out. So stop. Go ahead and run the ball. I don't care who you got out there. You got to. Or start with it with the hard play actions and movement things that Bo Nix can do. Get out of the drop back passing game. It's abysmal.
Yeah, a lot of the rushing yards he's going to get is going to be from Bo Nix. Bo Nix, when he's rolling out and he doesn't see it there, he's going to take off. He does that so well.
Potentially incorporating Bo Nix into the run game here.
Yes.
Right? Again, J.K. Dobbins out. He's a good athlete. On the other side of the ball, the Chiefs coming off the bye week. Andy Reid's record off a bye week is phenomenal. It's been that way forever.
22-4, Alex.
22-4, ridiculous. And again, I remember when I got traded there to Kansas City, and even then he had this reputation. You're like, what's the secret? What's the secret? And it's two things. One, players, you get the entire week off, right? Like literally no practice, see you later. And then the coaching staff does a lot of, for the first time, self-scout, right? And again, looking internal, what do we do well, what do we not, and where do we need to make improvements? And I guarantee one of the things they're going to work on this week, especially heading into this game, is beating man coverage. There is an art to beating man coverage, and a lot of it picks and rubs. I know you defensive guys don't like it. This is from 2 weeks ago. And again, look at the lack of execution here. You should get an outside release here by the receiver. You should get the pick and an easy conversion in the flat. We don't time it up right. We don't get the release. Again, they're lucky this wasn't a pick six. Cole Bishop obviously breaking this up, and now you're punting. And again, an art to this, and it's hard to simulate in practice. This is last year against the Broncos, who live in man. You're going to be in stacks and bunches all day. You see it here. Here you do get him to take the bait, right? Corner runs over the top. That's Moss. We get the double receiver screen, and now an easy pitch and catch for a conversion. And this will be a big part of today. Third down especially, third and short, third and medium. Denver lives in man, and that idea that rush gets home when those guys don't get open, when you don't execute these rubs and picks. And so did Kansas City get it resolved? I think they worked on it all week.
One of the best gadget guys in all of football, and I'm talking about the history of the game, is Andy Reid. You know, you've had 2 weeks to prepare for this Denver Broncos defense and this pass rush getting after the quarterback. So I expected a lot of the gadgets, you know, the screens, the quick screens, the bubble screens, anything you can really consider a gadget play. I think Andy Reid and this offense will pull out today. But when I'm looking at this game, you're talking about Pat Surtain II out in this ball game. The last time we saw the Kansas City Chiefs against the Buffalo Bills, you're talking about Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy, didn't fare good in the offense. Yes, it was on the road, but now they're at home. I expect these guys 2 weeks to prepare. I'm sorry, no, they're in Denver, right?
Yes.
So 2 weeks to prepare, you know, for this Broncos defense with this pass rush, with the defense, the reigning defensive player of the year, not playing today. Big game offense, Patrick Mahomes and these weapons.
Teddy, I mean, you talk about respect a lot. You talked about the Broncos. Right. This is their chance to get respect. I mean, you look on your screen. The Chiefs are a 4.5-point road favorite against a team that is running away with that division. Las Vegas does not respect the Denver Broncos. Today's a big day for that, isn't it?
And when you get an opportunity to put someone behind you, let's just put it that way. I mean, Broncos got 2 losses. The Chiefs have 4. You give them their 5th loss. I mean, this is a mental hurdle also. I mean, the Chiefs have had their number. Mahomes has owned this team. You want your respect. Go out and get it. I guarantee you it's going to be in the 4th quarter. All right, Bo Nix, it's going to be have to be him or some of those finishers on defense like a Benito or Cooper or Hufanga, the safety who's playing great football right now.
Yes.
But you want to be taken seriously by the Chiefs especially and become the big dog in your division. This is the game to get.
Well, I hate the must-win thing, you know, especially in the middle of the season. But you heard Patrick say it in that montage. Like, the reality is, if they lose this game, you can kiss the division goodbye. Yeah. At best, you're a wild card. This is a must-win game if they want a chance to win their 10th straight division title.
Yeah, you know what? When you talk about the 4th quarter, coming down to the 4th quarter, really, Bo Nix has been playing as good as anybody in the fourth quarter. That's what separates him from other quarterbacks in this league. The other thing is when you looking at the numbers, man, they are plus 31 in sack ratio. They have, you talk about all the sacks they get, they're only giving up 9 sacks all season. So even though they drop back and they're horrendous in it, they're not getting sacked.
You just crushed him for incompletions.
No, I am.
Because he gets the ball out.
No, I'm saying this. I'm saying to get rid of the drop back game. Go back to more play action. Go back to movement. The guy is horrendous. You want to sit him in the pocket. You're getting a lot of empties right there, a lot of zeros. All right, they're avoiding the negative play, which is why they're in this. It's why they have the record they do. If they gave up all the sacks that most teams do, this team wouldn't be close to what the record is. So to me, they understand that. Now understand the fact you're not a great drop back team, and they got a chance in this one.
Speaking of records, you mentioned Patrick Mahomes owns the Broncos. He's 13-1 against Denver as a starter. All right, they are underdogs today. The Denver Broncos are at home, and it's time for our dog of the week, brought to you by our friends at ESPN Bet Sportsbook. But first, we have the ultimate underdog getting his first start of the season, Jameis Winston. Let's take a moment to look back at some of our favorite Jameis moments of all time.
Back from that loss last week to the Chargers as they host the Bengals today. They come into the day clinging to a 1-game lead over the Ravens in the AFC North. It's a great day today. It's been a really fun season. 39 games already decided by a game-winning score in the final 2 minutes of regulation or overtime. Yeah.
And today just may be the most impactful games of the season. Here's Greeny and the NFL Countdown crew with a preview, guys.
Hey, fellas.
Here we are. Good morning, guys. And this is one of those games. People don't talk about it that way, but Bengals-Steelers today. Sneaky, interesting game. If Cincinnati wins with Joe Burrow looming on the horizon, they'll be 1 game out of first place. But that obviously is not the one that takes center stage. The whole gang is here as usual on this Week 11. And, Randy, why don't you start it off with the battle at the top of the NFC West?
Well, let's go out to California, man. Hey, if there's a security guard out in SoFi Stadium, man, grab the fire extinguisher. There's 2 wide receivers that's hot right now. Devontae Adams leading the league. 9 receiving touchdown. But, ladies and gentlemen, my eyes are on Sam Darnold and his young wide receiver, JSE, leading the National Football League in receiving yards. No man is closer. 210-yard difference between him and Jamar Chase. It's going down in California. Hey, you going to put this fire out, Alex, or not, man? It's going down in SoFi. Can't wait to see it, baby.
All right, Randy, how about this one? Chiefs at Denver. For me, the thing I got my eye on is this Chiefs offensive line going into a hostile environment, and can they handle it, right? Again, this best pass rush in the NFL. The Broncos defensive line, can you go in there and hold your water? We don't need any false starts. We don't need a lineup in the backfield. Can we give this guy a little bit of time to operate? You're going to have to do it today if you have a chance in this one. Can't wait to see it.
Well, you know what? Greeny talked about if Cincy wins, they're 1 game out of first place. That's right. Why? Because they beat the Steelers the last time. On the arm, not of Joe Burrow, but Joe Flacco. In Week 7, all he did was throw for 342 yards, 3 touchdowns in this game the last time. The average time he threw, 2.4 seconds. Why? All Pittsburgh did was play man. Get out of it.
All right, let's go Lions, Eagles. You talk about on fire, Moss. Dan Campbell's on fire as a play caller.
Okay.
J-Mo got involved. Jamison Williams, over 100, scored a touchdown, gave it to him on catch and runs like this, crossers. He was on fire. Can the Detroit Lions stay fired? Because A.J. Brown's like, hey, let me get this ball because he wants to burn up.
There's nothing Rex loves more than a coach with a big play card.
Big play card. It looks better with Dan Campbell. Why? Because I don't want to get punched in the face by him. But hey, was that my game breaker last week?
You liked it because, yeah, he was on your
J-Mo was my game
Rex,
breaker.
you're going to like this, too. We have a fascinating look at the origin of all of these Bills Mafia fans jumping through the tables. One man on this set is going to have to do it today. We'll find out who it is. Don't miss O's, the mentalist, just blowing the minds of the Rams this time.
my college days.
And Randy's back.
Seahawks defensive end Leonard Williams admits players definitely get intrigued by certain matchups, and this is one of them. But he says the Seahawks are trying to remain focused on the process. The process against the Rams today, slowing quarterback Matthew Stafford, which means handling first and second downs to force the Rams into 3rd and long situations. The Seahawks are expecting a little help on defense from what they anticipate to be a well-traveled 12th man here at SoFi Stadium. As for whether the Seahawks think they've received enough respect at 7-2 this season, tight end A.J. Barner tells me, we embrace being tucked up in the Pacific Northwest. We kind of play with that style too, where it's a little gritty, not too fancy, but it's part of our identity.
Thanks, Linz. Meanwhile, the Bears visit their NFC North rivals, the Vikings, looking to avenge a home loss in Week 1 when J.J. McCarthy engineered that stunning fourth-quarter comeback in his NFL debut. But since then, the Bears have actually been on the other side of those comebacks, with no less than 4 fourth-quarter comebacks this season, including last week against the Giants. Courtney Cronin has more on a Bears team that has lost 8 of its last 9 division games.
A few weeks ago, Antoine Randall stood in front of Bears players in a team meeting with a proposition. Chicago's assistant head coach called it living in the known, taking the hope the Bears started the season with and tangibly applying it in games to stack wins. That's manifested into back-to-back come-from-behind victories led by Caleb Williams' fourth-quarter play that has the Bears currently atop the NFC North. But for as much progress as Chicago has made in its first season under Ben Johnson, the Bears are still without a division victory. With the goal of playing their best football next month, Johnson stressed how desperately the Bears need this one here in Minnesota, the team that they allowed to come back and beat them Week 1. We kind of gave that game away, wide receiver Rome Odunze said, while also pointing out that game feels like ancient history. We're both completely different teams now, and we know it's a different challenge.
Thank you, Court. Since the start of the 2023 season, no two teams have won more regular season games than the Lions and the Eagles. They meet for the first time in that stretch tonight. Offense has been the top of minds for both squads. Dan Campbell took over Detroit's play calling duties last week. Lions scored 44 against the Commanders. Meanwhile, A.J. Brown is still waiting for the Eagles' offense to frequently call on his number. Sal Palantonio with more on this prime-time matchup.
Lions head coach Dan Campbell tried to prepare his football team for the hostile environment they faced tonight against the Philadelphia Eagles here at Lincoln Financial Field. Here's the quote. You go to some places, man, they wave at you. We're so happy you're here to play against us. This is not one of those places, he told the team. Alex Anzalone, who grew up nearby in Reading, Pennsylvania, told everybody, hey, I had to be a certain age before I came to Veterans Stadium to come watch a football game. It's a lot different now, but he told Lions fans, listen, bottom line is, here's my advice. Wear neutral colors.
I like that.
Take a look at this. Jahmyr Gibbs, 41 touchdowns so far in his career. The 23-year-old has the 5th most touchdowns by any player before their 24th birthday in NFL history, trailing a quartet of Hall of Famers led by Barry Sanders. How about that?
Okay, we are back with Herm Edwards for the final word, which is what today?
Cheese.
Okay.
Think about the Green Bay Packers. Are they Swiss cheese or are they peppermint jack cheese? What kind do you like? You like peppermint jack?
I'm a cheddar guy.
Pepper jack.
Cheddar?
I'm a cheddar.
Pepper jack.
Well,
Pepper Gruyere.
They are 5-3 right now. The Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
Okay.
The Chicago Bears have a better record than the Green Bay Packers.
Are you going to
How
put
about
that on?
So, no, I'm not putting cheese head on. So, you know what cheese happens when it gets bad? It spoils.
Like
it's
Limburger.
Stinky cheese.
Countdown is that.
Welcome to Week 11, Sunday NFL Countdown. Teddy, Josh, and company, do they right the ship at home against Tampa today?
Not if they keep putting the ball on the ground. Tampa's ready to play.
Bills need a win big time today. Meanwhile, divisional matchup in the NFC North. Randy, does Chicago make it 7 of their last 8 as they play your Vikings?
Man, it's all about J.J. McCarthy. Monday Night Football, can he duplicate that, Green?
And then a massive matchup in the AFC West. Chiefs at Broncos. Alex, is Denver ready to bury Patrick and company in the division?
They might be ready, but I don't think they're going to get it done. Chiefs coming off a bye week. We know what that means with Andy Reid.
So many questions. It's time to get the answers. It's time for Sunday NFL Countdown, ESPN, right now.
Oh, you know what time it is. It's time to come out, man. Put on the show today, bro.
A lot of great action all afternoon on this 11th Sunday of the season. And a reminder, our Week 11 Monday Night Football matchup is as good as it gets. Cowboys-Raiders, 8 Eastern on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the all-new ESPN app. Peyton and Eli on ESPN2. Coverage kicks off with NFL Live, 3 Eastern in Vegas. And Scott Van Pelt and company at 6 o'clock Eastern. We are at the Quad Box working as we've got reporters everywhere getting you set for some of the good afternoon action today. And then tonight, primetime, maybe the most interesting game of the day. Lions and Eagles in Philadelphia. Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni had their 80th game together Monday night against the Packers. They're 58-22. That's .725 win percentage, fourth best among coach-quarterback combos in the last 40 years, trailing only Mahomes and Reed, Brady and Belichick, and Peyton and Dungy. Hurts and Sirianni sat down with our Chris Berman a few short weeks ago.
Do the handshake all the time.
Did you two guys have a handshake, or is that kind of something I've read and it's not, or you don't, or you did, or was there some, not secret society?
It comes out on occasions.
But it still does come out, huh? I like it.
On occasions.
That's how special he is to me. Me and my son and him, the only ones that know that one right there.
You guys both come from unbelievable coaching background. Dad was coach, dad was coach. Brothers are coaching, brothers coaching. So football in your DNA from when you're 4 or 5 or whatever it is. Do you think that somehow, even though Western New York, Texas, different areas, do you think that has a lot to do with, okay, I get it, between the two of you guys?
You're always trying to find common themes that you have with people to continue to grow the relationship. I will say Texas football is a heck of a lot better than Western New York football, so maybe a little bit different type of football we played, but we love football and the desire to win it. That's why I love this guy. Just all the things that he brings to the table to help our football team.
This team right here, passion, energy, enthusiasm, all of it. All of it, every play. Let's go win on 3, 1, 2, 3. Win!
The Philadelphia Eagles have won Super Bowl 59. Eagles fans savor it and rejoice.
What does winning mean to you?
Peak joy for me, but you don't let that define you either. It is the journey. It is always becoming the best version of what you can become. As a team, as a player, nobody's entitled to anything. Doesn't matter if it's who can kick the best crawfish, who's winning dominoes. Everybody loves to win, and winning's always fun, but it's even better when you prepare.
To win in Lambeau against a really good team, that shows a lot of heart, that shows a lot of courage. Hey, and welcome with a big-time strip sack.
There is nothing like the joy after a win in the National Football League of how hard it is to win in this league and the joy of all the work that was put in all week and all year to win that game and be able to look your players, your teammates in the eye after that, hug, know that you guys sacrificed for each other and got a win. There's nothing like that feeling.
And tonight they get the Lions, a great primetime game. Sal Palantonio is in Philly for us. Sal, how are the Lions preparing for this one?
Well, they were preparing for a very hostile environment, obviously. Everybody on your panel knows how tough it is to play here in South Philadelphia, especially in a night game. And Dan Campbell prepared his team publicly and privately for it, saying, you know what, as we go into every stadium, sometimes people will wave and we're happy to see you. This is not that place, he told his team. It's much different here. The environment is hostile, but he thinks that his team is prepared for it and will embrace it. Alex Anzalone, who grew up about 60 miles west of here, about an hour out of town in Reading, Pennsylvania, remembers when he was a kid, he couldn't go to Veterans Stadium until he was a certain age because of the environment. He said he's different now, but he told Lions fans, if you're planning to come to the Link tonight to watch this game, wear neutral colors. There's one other aspect of tonight's game, and that is the weather. As you can see by my hair just flowing all over the place. It is super windy, and we took shots earlier of the goalposts swaying in the wind. Wind gusts all throughout the day through the evening are expected to be near 50 miles per hour. Right now it's about 49 miles per hour wind gusts. So you can plan on running those 9 routes to Jamison Williams or A.J. Brown. You better account for the wind to cut that ball through this tough wind. Michael?
Sal, that's really well done. So that's 3 different places we've seen now. Wind could be a major factor in the games today.
And the hair, but Sal still looks
The hair
good.
looks outstanding.
He's still looking good, Sal.
Yeah.
Faison, huh? Yeah, all right.
The wind-blown look definitely works for him, but we got wind in Pittsburgh, we got wind in Buffalo, we got wind in Philadelphia tonight. If you're just joining us, we talked at length about the A.J. Brown situation in Philadelphia earlier. So as we look at it from the Lions' standpoint, and Dan Campbell taking over the play calling last week, what was your take on that?
Well, the first thing is, Dan Campbell, to me, we all know he's an outstanding head coach, all right, as a leader and developing a culture and the toughness, all that. I don't think he gets the credit for building his own offense. He built this offense with Ben Johnson. We all credit Ben Johnson for it. He was an outstanding coach. But I'll promise you, Dan Campbell had at least 50% of creating this offense. So I remember going in that facility. Those 2 guys would be in there locked together in their room all the time. All right. So that was it. And when he decided, you know what, I'm going to take over. All right. Is it I don't think it's a disrespect thing to his offensive coordinator or anybody else. It's just that here's what he's saying. You know what? This is my offense, and nobody knows it better than I do. Trust me, I've been there as a play caller myself. Okay. And that's what we saw last week. I think that's what we're going to see moving forward. Go ahead.
Yeah, Rex, I mean, it's a head coach doing head coaching things. I mean, players respect this tremendously. If we can tell, I mean, if there's, I mean, okay, defensively, and you're getting called, the calls come into the middle linebacker in the game, and there are times where, I mean, if it's not right, you're making this call thinking, this is not the right call. I mean, so if your quarterback's thinking that, the head coach sees that, the players know that, the head coach makes a change. He says, I got this. This is my offense like you're talking about, Rex, and that's what Dan Campbell did. And these players, I mean, these players see that, and they know who's calling the shots and now why things are fixed, and they respect their head coach.
Nobody was scared of this offense. This offense was underperforming. That's why Dan Campbell took that play sheet.
Had to.
And you got all these weapons on this offense. Yes, they're missing, that tight end, Sam Laporta, and that will hurt them. But when you look at what they're facing today, there's a matchup that I want to see, and I just wonder, Quinyon Mitchell, the cornerback for the Philadelphia Eagles, what he's done thus far. He's been able to shadow and follow your number 1 receiver. I don't know if today is the day he want to follow Detroit's number 1 receiver, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. And the reason why is because where they move him, how they move him, all the motion that they do. That means there's have to be a lot of communication on the back end, and they better get it right because Detroit will like that scoreboard up in a minute. So this matchup, I just want to see if Quinyon Mitchell can really play. And if he does, follow Amon-Ra.
This is what's crazy, though, about the Dan Campbell thing, to go back to it. Statistically, this Detroit offense was one of the best units in football when he decided to make this change. And again, I love that aggressiveness from him. And you talked about it, Rex, kind of the layers. This guy's perceived and has been perceived, I don't know, but like kind of a meathead, right? He never got to be a coordinator. He's just a position coach. Even when he becomes the head coach, he's just a culture guy, right? And like here to step in and take this over, the play calling that this guy, to your point, has more to him, to know the X's and O's and well, I just think is so impressive. And again, to see it in his team and to make this change is a bold decision. But on the flip side,
you think he takes this all the way through
the
season?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And if I'm Jared Goff, I hope so. Yeah. I hope so. Because, again, last week, what you saw for everybody out there was way less drop-back pass on 1st and 2nd down. It's what this team does well. They run the ball and then play-action pass off of it. Jared Goff is the best play-action pass quarterback in the NFL. The chunk plays to Amon-Ra. The chunk plays to Jamison Williams, right? And then the little mix-ups of screens and gadgets opposite to Gibbs. Like, again, this is their identity. He helped build it, and he really, like, obviously, again, I think really putting an exclamation point on it. You're not going to see a whole lot of drop-back pass on 1st and 2nd down today.
Rattling a guy like Jared Goff is a must. We said that week 1. We seen what the Green Bay Packers was able to do against this offense. Vic Fangio, the defensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles. What we seen from the Philadelphia Eagles acquiring a guy like Jalen Phillips. Y'all seen him with that hood on last week in that cold weather, but my eyes is in the interior, right up the middle. Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, and Jalen Phillips outside. Getting after this offense led by Jared Goff is must-see, but I want the interior. What is Jalen Carter going to bring today? He has shown signs of dominance, but he also showed signs of, I'm just out here, whatever. So today, Vic Fangio's defense, I want to see if they can get after a guy like Jared Goff.
Break up the structure with Jared Goff. Make him get into that secondary play where he has to scramble and he has to move the plays over. That's the weakness of Jared Goff and this offensive system, in my opinion. Once Jared Goff gets off rhythm and he's pressured, look out.
Last thing on this, I think Howie Roseman deserves some credit here. The move for Jalen Phillips, I think, was brilliant. Get Nolan Smith Jr. back. All of a sudden, last week against the Packers, this Eagles defense looked like the Super Bowl defense from a year ago. Two guys that can really set the edge, play, run, and pass, and you combine it with those D tackles, man, it's scary.
Come on, Jalen Carter.
The depth with those pass rushers. And to me, I think here's the other thing about Jared Goff. Here's another guy that doesn't get enough credit. Who leads the NFL in completion percentage? That'd be Jared Goff. So, like, to me, he's pretty good. You're right. When they rattle his cage, he's not fleet of foot. We know that's his weakness and things like that. So, to me,
they
with
have
this
the defense
kind of
to do
wind
it.
Condition and all that, they better run the football. I mean, I don't know if you're going to bring in, like, who's going to play tight end for you now? It might be a lineman. I don't know.
This was supposed to be the NFC Championship game a year ago, right? Lions, Eagles was supposed to be that game a year ago. Injuries kept the Lions from being there. Now it could easily determine which team is at home if they face each other in this year's postseason. All right, Rex, here we go.
Yep.
Aaron Dolan, here we go. Sunday Playbook presented by ESPN Bet Sportsbook. If you're new to our show, this is the way it works. Aaron is going to pick a prop. Rex is going to pick a prop. I'm going to pick a prop. They're going to become a parlay, and we'll see if we can knock this one out of the park.
We need a winner.
Aaron, get it started.
All right, let's start with Baker Mayfield to have 13 or more rushing yards. And yes, I'm well aware he hasn't had one carry, let alone one rushing yard in 3 straight games. But this is opportunity for us because typically we see this line around 19.5. You're getting it at 13 for this parlay. And he's facing a Buffalo Bills defense that's the 3rd worst at stopping the run, also allowing an average of 25 rushing yards to opposing quarterbacks, which is the 6th worst mark in the league. So I do think Baker will end up running today. I'll take him 13 or more rushing yards.
Well, I think Amon-Ra St. Brown is one of the best receivers in the league, and Moss and I were talking about it. I think he gets in the box today, and especially with Sam Laporta being out, I think that takes some red zone targets away and puts more on Amon-Ra St. Brown's plate. Give me him anytime touchdown.
All right, and then Randy, I picked this one just for you.
Let me hear.
You have been begging. You have been pleading with the Eagles. Throw the ball to A.J. Brown.
Yes!
Throw the ball to A.J. Brown. His prop is 60-plus receiving yards. Is he going to go over that?
That's a great call, Greeny.
Let's go.
Great call, Greeny. Come on, A.J.
Throw the ball to A.J. Brown. Free A.J. So I'm going over on 60 yards receiving for A.J. Brown. So there's our Sunday Playbook Parlay presented by ESPN Bet Sportsbook. If Baker Mayfield rushes for at least 13 yards, Amon-Ra St. Brown scores a touchdown, and A.J. Brown has at least 60 receiving yards.
I like it. Let's go.
You win $60 on a $10 bet.
And go Birds.
Let's get it, Weakness.
No.
All right, coming up. Colston, and why don't we start with that? It's a division game when your team is red hot right now. What have been the conversations amongst your team this week about what's at stake today against the Vikings?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, divisional game. We're 0-2 in the division right now, so our main focus is just getting that first win, being 1-0 this week.
You know, Colston, thanks for coming on the countdown, Cam, man. A lot of people starting looking at you guys week 1. Senior quarterback Caleb Williams being able to escape the pocket, and a lot of people were wondering, could it be sustainable? You, his tight end, over the last couple of weeks, man, first of all, I want to say I'm proud of you, what I've seen being the first tight end taken. But how has it been playing with a guy like Caleb Williams? Because we understand the rules about, you know, following your quarterback, but when he's twirling around, talk about Caleb Williams and what he means to this offense.
Yeah, I mean, he's a unicorn. You know, you run a route, and it's just like in the back of your mind, it's like always thinking scramble drill. You know what I'm saying? If anything, scramble drill, and he's always going to get out of it. So just always stay alive. And yeah, it's great to have him back there. I mean, he's done a great job and just continue to grow this year. And really, as a team, we're just continuing to get better each and every week.
Well, Colston, you bring up unicorns. I'm going to bring up horses and cattle and all that stuff because you rodeoing, okay, that's in your background when we're getting to know you a little bit in our meeting. Has that helped you in your football? First of all, yeah, congratulations on a great rookie campaign, but how does rodeoing help you with that? And you ever been thrown off a horse?
Yeah. So I haven't rodeoed in a while, but that was 3rd, 4th grade, 5th grade, maybe.
Yeah, we're showing some
And
pictures
yeah, I
right
think
right
I think
now.
there's some there's
There
some
it is.
carryover for sure. You know, you get that one ride, you get that one run. You prepare all week, all month, all year for it, and you got to perform and go out there and get it done. You get that one shot. So I think that that kind of stuff carries over in the hard work aspect and everything that comes with sports. But yeah, super grateful to experience that.
Yeah, just a quick little question here. So you're a rookie. You're going in the locker room. We usually like to ask the players the last thing they do before they get ready for the game. So you're getting in through that locker room door. What does Colston Loveland have to do in his pregame routine?
I got to get. It's called like a BFR stick, and I just got to get my whole body sticked out. And yeah. Yeah, I feel like that.
The roller, right? The stick.
Chill
The
out
stick
on
that
that,
goes
chill out
under
on
your
that.
muscles, right?
Yeah. Okay. Rex does that before the show, actually. Rex always breaks out the BFR stick before we get going. Hey, Colston, it's been a wonderful season. It was a delight to watch. Congratulations. Good luck today, and thank you for taking this time.
Yeah, good luck, Colston.
Yeah. Do your thing, young buck.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you. God
Get
bless.
that paint.
Colston
Yes, sir.
Loveland, what a couple of plays that guy has made in the last few weeks for the Chicago Bears, and we'll see what he does today against Minnesota. We'll have a close look at that game as we continue. And then tonight we got the Lions and the Eagles in prime time. Might be the game of the day, and it comes tonight. The defending Super Bowl champs, they're 7-2, tied for the best record in the NFC, and they've already beaten the Chiefs and the Rams and the Bucs and the Packers, the most wins against teams that have at least 5 wins this season. But they scored a season-low 10 points Monday night, and all week, as usual, the talk was all about A.J. Brown.
It's not about we're not winning, or I don't care about winning. All I care about is stats. No, it's been week after week. Sometimes we're not contributing. We're not doing our job on offense. So you can't just keep slapping a Band-Aid over that. And if you expect to win late in the year and you think you're going to go to it at the end of the year, it's not going to happen. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Last year, what it was, thank you for the ring, but it's a new season.
His frustrations have been voiced after wins on multiple occasions now. Are you good with that?
We got the Detroit Lions, so I'm gonna definitely put a halt to that. I think the more we drive that, the more of a distraction it becomes.
Yeah, guys, I'm close to being done answering these questions with this. Like, he's working hard, and he is a big part of this game plan, and it'll be a big part of the game plan going forward. And he's working like crazy when he's here, and I'm excited to have him.
So that's the quarterback and the coach saying they're tired of talking about it. Here's Sal Paolantonio, who's always talking about it in Philadelphia. Sal, what can you add on what's going on with A.J. Brown this week?
Well, what you didn't see, Michael, and what you didn't hear was a very unusual thing happened on Thursday at practice. Highly unusual. A meeting on the field between A.J. Brown, the disgruntled wide receiver, and team owner Jeffrey Lurie, facilitated by Chief Security Officer Dom DeSandro, who is also an assistant to the general manager and in charge of coaching game day operations. So DeSandro goes over and talks to Lurie on the sideline at practice and then motions for A.J. Brown to come over. And there are 3 things that you can take away in the details that I've got from this meeting, which was first reported by NBC 10 in Philadelphia. Number 1, A.J. Brown pledged to the owner to cut down on the number of social media references he has to the team's offense, basically tone it down. It was a very amicable meeting. A.J. Brown was contrite. At one point, Jeffrey Lurie said to his wide receiver, "You don't have to apologize to me." Again, very friendly and very amicable. The two of them hugged after about 10 minutes, and then A.J. Brown went to practice. Now, 3 items of perspective here. Number 1, Michael, I've been covering this team for 33 years and have been around the NFL. I've never seen anything like this, where a player unhappy has a meeting with the owner on the field during practice. You hear a lot about private meetings. In fact, Jeffrey Lurie has dinners with Dom DeSandro and players at Jeffrey Lurie's house, many, many times to talk over issues. Nick Sirianni talked to the offensive line last year about getting the running game going. This team does a lot of talking, but this is the first time I've seen this on the field. And then the talk in town, a lot of it is about, hey, A.J. Brown has pocketed $87 million from this team in guaranteed money already. Why don't you just do your job and not talk so much in social media? And then the final thing is, you know, Don DeSandro has a lot of titles on this football team. Senior advisor to the GM, chief security officer, director of game day coaching operations. But I just like to call him the godfather of Philadelphia Eagles Nation. And this is just one of those, hey, you know what? Never go against the family moments.
Big Dom, taking care of business. Sal Paolantonio, outstanding. You know what I was struck by, though? When Sal said the thing about, hey, you got paid a lot of money, just do your job. You reacted strongly to that, Alex. Why? What was it about that you did not like?
I really liked what A.J. Brown had to say this week. Listen, he talked about on offense, we're not doing our jobs. He's not lying, right? He was telling the truth. He has this big, giant contract. He wants to be included in the offense. He wants to contribute. And they're not doing that right now. They scored 10 points in their last game. Listen, and this is from the last game where he had 2 catches for 13 yards. This is going to be a mirrored circus route for a quarterback out there. This is dealer's choice. You get to pick the side. You're going to see these safeties rotate. All day you should come down here to the bottom. You have a 2-on-1 on this corner, and A.J. Brown is wide open. Look at him. Instead, we throw the ball all the way out to the field. Droops down for an incompletion. This one, A.J. Brown is going to be here in the yellow route on the crossing route. He is primary. It is man-to-man. The ball should go to him 100% of the time here. I want to watch. Look at him run across the field. He might score here. There's nobody covering him. I don't understand why he's not getting it. Instead, we scramble for 7 yards. I understand the frustration. And again, they're not lighting the world on fire. They are not putting up 500 yards of offense. They're 23rd in the NFL this year in yards per game, right? This is a unit that's accustomed to being the top 10. Again, I like them not sweeping this under the rug. I like him with this confrontation. Sometimes it's healthy and bringing this out.
You know, let me take you to what A.J. Brown talking about later on during the season. Don't expect us to put a Band-Aid on it. Now I'm going to take you through the mind of a number 1 receiver. Last year when we looked at the Philadelphia Eagles offense, it ran through Saquon Barkley and A.J. Brown with a little slash of Devontae Smith. Now you're sitting here trying to tell me we're trying to go back and win another Super Bowl, but now our weapons are not really featured. So what A.J. Brown was really saying, I'm not getting in the ball. You heard me talk about opening kicks. Somebody between the 3-headed monster of the head coach, Jalen Hurts, and A.J. Brown need to check their pride in the door. Because let me take you through my philosophy. I don't care, Greeny, what you do during the week. 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock kickoff, that's what I care about. I want to play to win. And that's what A.J. Brown is talking about. So when we sit there and look, the plays have A.J. Brown open, get me the football, because later on when it starts getting cold, when it's hard to catch, when it's hard to throw, you know what they're going to expect from the $80 million signing bonus, man? They're going to expect greatness, but right now we're not seeing it because they're not getting him the ball. I said earlier, if you want to fly, Eagles fly, you got to get A.J. Brown the ball, man.
When does it matter how much a player gets paid when it comes to championships? Okay, I mean, earlier in the season when the Giants ran through the Eagles defense and they looked terrible, I said on this show, they looked satisfied. That one was enough. Well, here's a player that's not satisfied.
He's not.
And I respect that. Yeah, you do have a championship in your pocket. You got a lot of money in the bank account. It still doesn't matter to him. What matters to him is, I see that was a 10-minute press conference availability at AJ's locker. I listened to the whole thing, believe me. And he's talking about how well the defense is doing, you know, how great they are playing, and he wants to just pull his weight. The offense should pull their weight. You need to be pushed internally, I mean, to win back-to-back championships. You have to be pushed by your players. They have to come in. There has to be controversy. There has to be weeks like this when one of your greatest players, one of your best players said, it's not good enough, guys. None of this is good enough, because he has a goal that's beyond just catching footballs. This guy wants another championship, and I respect that.
Divisional matchup with the Steelers today. These teams met not long ago.
He looked good.
Cincinnati lit it up and got the win. It's a good way to get us in the right state of mind. For game breakers, who's going to break games wide open today? Alex Smith.
thing off. Come on, Chargers are heading down to Jacksonville, and my game breaker is Ladd McConkey. This guy is a ridiculous problem. Here he is in the slot from last week against the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're playing man like you love, Rex. Look at the shimmy and the shake with the head fake here. Look at him getting in the zone. This guy is a problem in a matchup. I know he looks young. Look at him. He looks like a high schooler, right? Well, we're going to take it back. Hey, we're taking it back to high school right here. Look at Ladd McConkey playing QB. Same number. This guy can do it all. He's multi-talented. Look at him dropping dimes in the back of the end zone, Randy. Is that from this week or last week? I can't tell. That's why he's young lad. Come on, young lad. In the zone today.
Well, man, let's go out to Denver. Man, I'm talking about the chemistry between wide receiver and his quarterback. Ladies and gentlemen, my game breaker is Troy Franklin. Over the last month, this man has scored a touchdown in every game for his quarterback, Bo Nix. Well, Randy, you talk about the chemistry. Yes, I'm talking about the chemistry. Well, this is them working together in Oregon. That was his wide receiver. As you can see, Bo Nix. For the Oregon Ducks going to Troy Franklin. And you know what that makes him?
I don't.
What is it?
Hurry up.
What is it?
What is it? I'm still wondering.
Y'all read it. I ain't going to even talk about it.
Well, you know what? What if I said, did you know that there's a linebacker that is tied for the league lead in interceptions?
Yeah, let's go
Right.
backers,
This
Rex.
guy's 6'5". Tremaine Edmonds. Always, fans, take a good big one over a good little one. Any day of the week. This guy's amazing. And by the way, is he just intercepting the ball? No, he's also sacking a quarterback right here. Look at the link. Get him down here. Tremaine Edmonds has been absolutely outstanding. So outstanding. Tremaine, man. That's what I'm talking about.
That's better timing than Moss, Rex. I see it. All right, let's go. Lions, Eagles, and I'm going with another linebacker in Jack Campbell. Oh, let's match him out here with Rashad White, a tailback. It's a mismatch, right? You try to run a tear screen. No, we read it. We're too smart. This offensive lineman can't come and get us. Jack Campbell, look at him. Leads the team in tackles with 82. Kelvin Shepard, like, yeah, I got a linebacker here. 82 tackles, leads the team. Also 4 sacks. A running back trying to pick up my backer right here. Put him on skate. Running back. Get him out the club. Quarterback is flipping. Oh, yeah, and by the way, throw the flag, Mr. Official. That's a hold it on the running back. Go ahead and flex. That's why Jack Campbell ain't Jack Campbell today. Today's going to be Zach Campbell. That's timing right there, Moss.
Ricks, much better.
I love it. I love it. All right, time inside the tunnel. Our last minute news and notes from our reporters. Bears are getting set to take the field in Minnesota, and that's where Courtney Cronin gets it started.
Thanks, Greeny. J.J. McCarthy's accuracy was an issue in the loss to the Ravens, but the struggles for the Vikings offense start with the operation. Minnesota racked up 8 false starts last game, and the work that running back Aaron Jones told me McCarthy has done to polish his cadence are notable. You're seeing him a little more dialed in, a little more focused because he's hungry. We're all hungry, Jones told me. The motto that McCarthy is enforcing with his teammates, see the call, know the call, play the call. That's what Jones believes will eliminate some of these pre-snap issues. Now to Kimberly Martin in Pittsburgh.
Courtney, keep an eye on this retooled Steelers secondary. Mike Tomlin has made a few changes of late, including moving Jalen Ramsey to safety full-time. But Jamar Chase said he likes his odds against any DB. And he told me the offensive success that they've had with Joe Flacco shows what kind of weapons we have. Meanwhile, DK Metcalf will look to have more of an impact this time around. In their last meeting, he only had 3 catches for 50 yards. But as one Cincy defender told me, all eyes will be on DK. Got to know where he is every single snap, or else he can hurt you. Now, over to Jeff in Buffalo.
Kimberly, Josh Allen looking to get this Bills offense back on track after last week's loss, and it won't be an easy task. Wide receiver Keon Coleman is inactive for this game, a healthy scratch after missing a team meeting on Friday. Tight end Dalton Kincaid also out of this game, and Khalil Shakir, by the way, limited this week, but he is good to go. All the more weight on Allen's shoulders, and James Cook, who struggled last week, but looking to get it going again today. Greeny?
All right, Jeff, thank you. Time now for AI-generated fantasy insights provided by IBM. Looking at the game breakers today, top players with a high chance of outperforming their scoring projection. And we're looking at Aaron Jones, Jameson Williams, and Kenneth Walker as the top 3 who could help fantasy players win their matchups. It's all over in Madrid, the last international game of the season today. The Commanders and the Dolphin team, where we have fired the coach a myriad of times this year. Finding a way to win again, 16-13. They're 4-7 They're still playing hard.
Man, I mean, tip my hat. Because I tell you what, I've been hard on this guy, but he's got them playing. And I tell you what, they're actually playing defense now too, which was missing in action. This is kind of what we expected from this team at the beginning of the year. Mike McDaniel deserves
And on
all
the other
credit.
side, the Commanders in free fall. I mean,
Might be the
NFC
worst team in the
Championship
league.
game last year. It's
Great win,
not
Miami.
looking good.
Great win.
Been a rough go. All right, we'll continue in just a moment here on Sunday NFL Countdown. We'll pick the biggest games of this day and night. Huge playoff implications on the line between Jalen and Jared. Who's taking the Lions coming out of Philly with a win? You'll find out. Plus, Sam Darnold has a special connection with Jackson Smith and Jigba in his first season with him. We'll take you to Sam.